Physical media man, physical media man, physical media man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. It's Wrestlemania week, so I got this idea from Brandon over at Cinefessions. He did this video last year, I believe, his wrestling collection. So I decided I was going to go ahead and show off my wrestling collection. These are mostly all DVDs. I do have some VHS from when I was watching. I was really into wrestling probably from around 4th or 5th grade to about 8th or 9th grade. Didn't have cable growing up, so when WWE or WWF SmackDown at the time was on UPN and Channel 23, I started really getting into it. I'm getting together with a couple friends that we kind of became friends because of wrestling this weekend for Wrestlemania. So really looking forward to that and watching the show. Don't watch it very often, but I do try to get together with friend of the show Cody every year, and we try to watch at least WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. So before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man Store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Media Man / Physical Media Man Store, my Facebook page for non-media related items, the Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So yeah, that's some of my background in wrestling. I have gone to a few WWF shows, a couple indie shows, and a couple of AEW shows. So first up is the VHS ones. I'll mention what was in my childhood collection as well as what I've seen. This one I've seen, but I don't really remember it. This was in my childhood collection. We got WWF Survivor Series, winner takes all, Team WWF versus Team Alliance. So this one's kind of neat. Here's the matches on it. This one I bought, I believe, in the last few years. We got It's Our Time with Triple H in China. This was in my childhood collection. We got WWE presents Global Warning Tour Melbourne. It's got Lesnar and The Rock and Stacy Keibler and Triple H on the thing there. Here's another one I've somewhat recently bought. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Another one I believe I bought somewhat recently. We got WWF, the Attitude Collection. This is The Rock, Know Your Role. Looks like I bought this one for $1 at Half Price Books. We got The Rock, the People's Champ. And then lastly, VHS-wise, this is really neat. I got this the last few years too. It's worth a little bit, not a ton, but I definitely wanted to keep it just because it's so neat. I feel like you don't see stuff like this very often. This is the Classic 5 of 1998. So it's got the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. And this is like the heyday of the Attitude Era. And yeah, so here's Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. WrestleMania, this is the one with Stone Cold, with Mike Tyson as the referee, and then Shawn Michaels. Looks like we got Sable, Mankind, and The Undertaker on this one. Taker, Stone Cold, X-Pac. Looks like Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, X-Pac versus Double J. And lastly, looks like Stone Cold again. A deadly game tournament determined the new World Wrestling Federation champion. Mankind, mystery opponent, Al Snow, Jeff Jarrett, Kane, Stone Cold, Big Boss Man, X-Pac, Undertaker, Steven Regal, Ken Shamrock, Goldust, The Rock, and Triple H. Interesting. So yeah, really neat set. I don't really get into... There's another thing. I've really gotten into watching wrestling documentaries and things. I feel like they're really interesting and fascinating, especially when you don't really know too much about the wrestler. So I'll kind of mention that too when I go through the more biography type stuff. All right, so first up, I'm just going to go through all my WrestleManias and that type of more like, oh gosh, there we go. Should have got more in order here. All right, so first up, we got the story of WrestleMania. Takedown. Barely everything fit on this little where I'm putting everything. So then I got some WrestleManias. I was trying to get them all there for a while, and I haven't got too many. But here we got WrestleMania 21, WrestleMania 22. I feel like I could get these fairly cheap there for a while too. WrestleMania 24. WrestleMania looks like 28, and WrestleMania 29. All right. I also have the history of the WWF Championship, which I think I watched this one. It was kind of good. We got the World's Greatest Wrestling Managers, which I don't believe I watched. I got a bunch in a lot quite a few years ago, probably close to 10 years ago. I got probably, I think it was $20, and I got like 30 different things. So that was one of them. This was one of them. The Spectacular Legacy of the American Wrestling Association, which was pretty interesting. So this had like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, the Four Horsemen, I believe. Looks like Shawn Michaels, Jesse the Body Ventura, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Mean Gene. Yeah, I think I might be wrong on the Four Horsemen, but I also have the Triumph and Tragedy of World Class Championship Wrestling. I'm pretty sure I watched this one too. It's pretty good. Which of course has the Von Erichs, which they're making a movie on, which I'm sure will be great. I can't remember who was playing one of the... Somebody pretty famous was playing one of them. Next up, we got the Top 25 Rivalries, which I don't know if I watched that one yet or not. I know I haven't seen this. We got Wrestling's Highest Flyers. I watched this, was kind of disappointed. We got the greatest wrestling stars of the 80s. I feel like I just knew a lot of what they didn't really go into in depth on some of the ones, and I had already watched some documentaries on the other ones. So, but it's a good starting point for sure. And here we also have the greatest stars of the 90s. I really enjoyed these next two. We got because this is kind of when I was watching, or I was familiar with a lot of these wrestlers, or they were still wrestling when I started watching. So we got WWE, the Attitude Era. This is Volume 1, and I also got Volume 2. I'm pretty sure Volume 3 goes for a little bit, and I haven't been able to pick it up, but this one was only 6. So, all right. And here I got some more match type of stuff. This one was really good, really interesting, very rewatchable. We got the Monday Night War, WWF Raw is War versus WCW Monday Nitro. Definitely, that's one of the ones I would recommend the most. This I have not watched. This is more matches, I think. I got this for $3 at Goodwill. So we got WWF Raw, the beginning, the best of seasons 1 and 2. I also got the best of SmackDown, 10th anniversary, 1990 to 2009. So some of this would have definitely been when I was watching, which is really neat. The SmackDown I went with my dad was so awesome. It was, I think we definitely saw Brock Lesnar. It was very early in his career, and maybe John Cena. But I know it was Rey Mysterio's WWF debut, which was really memorable. I also got to see Hulk Hogan and The Rock in a tag team match. friend of the show, Cody, and I, we went back and watched that show on WWF Network or WWE Network not too long ago, and it was a great show. So it was really neat to see some of the really big names of the time. So I'd be curious to see if any of those matches are on that, but I haven't checked it out at all yet. I also have the ladder match. We got the very best of WCW Monday Nitro, and I'm pretty sure they made a second one of these that goes for quite a bit of money as well. But like I said, these are more matches, which I'm more into the documentary type stuff. So this was also really good. The Rise and Fall of WCW. This one I really enjoyed more than that one. I didn't know too much about ECW. I really wish I was watching when it was big. But this documentary is excellent. We got the Rise and Fall of ECW. And I recently just got this for actually I think this was one of the free ones I got last Black Friday at Disc Replay. We got ECW Volume 1 unreleased. This I haven't watched yet. This is more movie related. We got Beyond the Mat. And I got this at a Menards for $4.99. We got A&E put these out. Biography, WWE Legends Volume 1. I'll have to try to get the others. I watched the first 2 seasons of the show, not live, but I watched them on Hulu and really enjoyed them. Thought they were great, especially the ones I didn't know too much about the wrestlers, like I've said before. And I didn't realize that the 3rd season had just they've been putting those out. So I watched some of the Jerry Lawler one, but I haven't watched I think there's 8 episodes out at least. And here's another one from that eBay lot that I bought. We got Before They Were Superstars, which I haven't checked out yet. And then this I also somewhat recently got from my local Goodwill. This is Evolution of the Game Armageddon. And it's got some good matches. I was a big fan of RVD. So I went ahead and grabbed this because I think it was only $3. And this is one of those cool ones where if you got all the pay-per-views, it spelled out the year. So, all right, now on to more of the biography type stuff. I think I have these somewhat in order, but of course I didn't. Hold on. Having troubles. All right, here we go. First up, I got 2 copies of this, so if you're interested in it, let me know. I got one pretty cheap, and I already had it. So we got Road Warriors, the life and death of the most dominant tag team in wrestling history. There's also I really enjoy, if you're a wrestling fan, or even if you're not and you just like documentaries, there's a show on Vice called The Dark Side of the Ring, I believe. There's one on the Road Warriors that's so good. But I didn't know too much about them. I don't think I watched this yet, but I definitely watched that episode on Dark Side of the Ring, which is really interesting. This I haven't watched yet either. I think I got this at a Goodwill somewhat recently too. We got TNA, the Phenomenal, the best of AJ Styles. So, except we got Andre the Giant. There's also a really good HBO documentary on him, which I think might have got a physical release. If it did, I haven't grabbed it yet. But it looks like this has quite a few matches on it. I don't know if it has, I assume it has a documentary too, but this one was pretty interesting. I didn't know too much about him, and it was very eye-opening. Really good if you haven't seen it. 20 Years Too Soon, Superstar Billy Graham story. Definitely recommend that one if you haven't seen it. Next up, we got Brian Pillman, Loose Cannon. It's pretty good. So I got this at Half Price Books. It's not the greatest, not like a official WWF release or anything. We got Classic Superstars of Wrestling, Cactus Jack, the early years. Next up, from the Attitude Collection. I don't know if this is... I used to have this for sure when I was growing up, so this might be my original copy. I'm not sure. We got the Three Faces of Foley. I also had Hard Knocks and Cheap Pops, Mick Foley thing, and I definitely sold that. I would like to get it again in the collection, but... next up, for only $1, I don't think I've watched this yet either. I was a big fan of them when I was watching too. We got the Hardy Boys. This is Twisted Fate, the Matt and Jeff Hardy story. And then also for $1, looks like disc replay as well, we got John Cena, Word of Life. Word of Life! Basic Thugonomics. There we go. Those are all like the single... Oh no, here we got some more. And I forgot, I have some stuff over there that I'll show off too that I hadn't decided. A lot of it was brand new, and some of it's worth a little bit of money, so I was thinking about maybe selling some of them. I'm not sure. All this stuff here I'm definitely keeping. This one was really good too. We got The Life and Times of Mr. Perfect. Had this one in my childhood collection, got rid of it, had to rebuy it. Looks like I paid $3 at half price for it. He was one of my favorites when I was watching. We got Rey Mysterio 619. This one was pretty good too, because I didn't really know too much about Flair and the Four Horsemen. So we got Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen, and that was also part of the lot. So yeah, here's the Road Warriors again. Kind of somewhat recently got this too, I think. And like I said, I was a big fan of Rob Van Dam. So here we got Rob Van Dam, One of a Kind. Looks like I got this at Goodwill. We got Shawn Michaels' Boyhood Dream. Don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen this either. We got the Stone Cold Truth. This one was really good too. This one I only paid $1 for at the exchange. I think I had watched it somehow before, and definitely wanted to grab it. We got Triple H, the King of Kings. There is only one. I don't think I watched this one either. I think this was part of the lot. We got Undertaker, He Buries Them Alive. Don't remember where I got this, and this was worth a little bit of money at some point because basically everybody talks crap about him. We got the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. This was like when he wasn't getting along with WWE anymore. They put this out. So I don't think it's worth as much as what it used to be, but it's interesting to watch for sure. This I definitely haven't seen yet. We got Bautista, I Walk Alone. And these are all coming up, are all 3-discers. So like here's Bautista's. And most of them, so they all have like a documentary, and then they have some matches with them. Takedown. Next up's a collector's edition. I'm pretty sure I got this half off, so it would have been $4 at the most. Brock Lesnar, Here Comes the Pain. We got Chris Jericho, Breaking the Code Behind the Walls of Chris Jericho. Diamond Dallas Page, Positively Living. Next up, this was one from the lot, and this one was worth a little bit at one point. I don't know if it still is or not. We got The American Dream, The Dusty Rhodes Story. Next up, we got Shawn Michaels' My Journey, which I've not yet seen. I don't think I watched the Dusty Rhodes one yet either. I watched the DDP one, it was okay. I don't think I watched Chris Jericho. Definitely haven't watched Lesnar. I think actually I might have watched this one, I'm not sure. We got The Legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is a fairly recent release, so I was happy to grab it. We got the Ultimate Collection of Goldberg, which I watched. It was pretty good. This one was decent. We got Heart and Soul, the Hart Family Anthology. Good to have. This next one is Bret Hitman Hart, who I've become a big fan of watching documentaries and stuff, and just seeing some of his old matches. Next up, we got Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Anthology. We got Jake the Snake Roberts, Pick Your Poison. Watch this one, it's pretty good. I've not seen this. We got John Cena, My Life. This was only $1. This one I was the most disappointed in. We got the Click Rules. This was pretty good though. We got NWO, The Revolution. This was also pretty good. I'm a fan of his. We got Ladies and Gentlemen, My Name is Paul Heyman. Pretty interesting. Randy Savage one was pretty good. We got Macho Madness, The Randy Savage Ultimate Collection. Nature Boy, Ric Flair, The Definitive Collection. And we got Ricky Steamboat, The Life Story of the Dragon. This was one of my favorites too. I feel like watching these, I've become more a fan of anybody than, or become the most fan of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Bret the Hitman Hart. All right, 2 more left, and I got a couple DVDs or movies to show. I forgot a Steelbook, and I'm gonna grab those too. So the last 2 here, though, are The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. He was my favorite when I was watching a lot. And then Born to Controversy, the Roddy Piper story. So I'm gonna break and grab the rest. Okay, so the last couple things. Here are the movies that I wanted to mention. This is a Darren Aronofsky directed film starring Mickey Rourke, a great wrestling movie. We got The Wrestler. Definitely recommend that if you haven't seen it. This is put out by WWE Studios, starring Hulk Hogan. We got No Holds Barred. Rub 'em. And then this is a Warner Brothers title. It only has a DVD. Rewatched this recently. Still had a blast with it. I loved this movie growing up. David Arquette, Oliver Platt, and Scott Caan, and Ready to Rumble. And then I also have a Steelbook I forgot to mention. This is one of my favorite Steelbooks. A good documentary too. We got Scott Hall, Living on a Razor's Edge. And just a beautiful Steelbook. Really happy to have this one in the collection. So yeah, definitely wanted to show that off. I forgot about it. And then lastly, the ones I said that I wasn't sure what I'm going to do with. These are put out by High Spots Wrestling Network. Almost all of these are still sealed, so I got them for $3 each at Goodwill. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with them. I'm still not quite sure. So first up, we got a shoot interview with Glacier, who I'm not familiar with. Bruiser Brody, Wrestling's Last Rebel, Disc 1. And there was a Bruiser Brody episode on Dark Side of the Ring that was very interesting. Like I said, if you haven't seen Dark Side of the Ring, I highly recommend checking that out. I really wish they did physical releases of it, but unfortunately they haven't. Next up, we got AJ Styles making an impact. Looks like this one's opened. We got the Briscoe Brothers interview, A Complete Moron's Guide on How to Man Up. Which I think there was something going on about one of them. Maybe one of them passed away and something, I can't remember exactly. And then we got Behind Closed Doors with Jake the Snake Roberts, still sealed. There's also a Dark Side of the Ring on her. We got In the Ring with Luna Bacon. I think I said that wrong, but it was pretty good. We got a shoot interview with Jimmy Hart. And then this I feel like would be pretty interesting. We got a Monday Night Wars debate featuring Eric Bischoff, Bruce Pritchard, and Chris Jericho. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with those, but that's everything in my wrestling collection. I'm a pretty big fan. I don't watch it too much anymore, but I love these documentary type of stuff and just the history of the business and everything. I just think it's very fascinating. So hope you enjoy this. Hope you enjoy Wrestlemania if you're a wrestling fan. We'll be back to the normal pickups videos and the Blu-ray collection videos coming up next week. So hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. This is Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Yeah!